So, Baruch Hashem, here we are. Every evening we manage to, almost every evening, we're here with you again. So we are in Masechet Shabbos learning about Muktzeh, Tircha, many other interesting things. Stay with us. Stay with us today. Tono Bono, this year is for the Ilu Neshama of my father, Menachem ben Akiva, for the refuah of the granddaughter of our dear friend, Tzvi, Michal Sheina Bas Yafa. She should be healthy soon. Bezos Hashem. Amen. Very, very, very last words of Kuf Kaf Ches Amud Aleph. Kuf Kaf Ches Amud Aleph. Koach. Tonu Rabbanon. Tonu Rabbanon. Give me a second here. Tonu Rabbanon. We're learning about Muktzeh. Muktzeh related to animal food. Tonu Rabbanon metaltelin esat somos mipnei shumachal leklovim. That's a good question. Are you allowed to move around the atzamois, meaning the bones? You have chicken bones left at the end of the meal, don't you? I mean, most of us do, or whatever, stam bones from chametz, from flesh. So are you allowed to carry that? You're allowed to move it around indoors? Is it muktzeh? So says the Brisa, yes, because it's maicha leklovim. It is food that's good for dogs. If you live in a society where dogs are normally bred, are kept, so yeah, so you're allowed to carry around the atzamos. Anyhow, you're allowed to move the atzamos from the table, by the way, because of gav shel rei. Atzamos usually are disgusting, it's like a pile of, atzamos that were eaten, half eaten. So you're allowed to move them out just to remove them from the table. Why? Because it's disgusting. But here we're saying allowed to carry the atzamos because it's dog's food. So look at Tosfos. Tosfos says, Rabbi Yehuda de Isle Muktzeh, Ma'iri kigon shlo hoyola abosom etmon. This says something very interesting. According to Rabbi Yehuda, who believes in Muktzeh, and we know what that means, we have to say that there was no meat on those atzamos. Those bones were already bones, bare bones without meat when Shabbos came in. What does Tosfos mean? I think what Tosfos means, I didn't say the Mechoshim, Pasha Tosfos means as follows. According to Rabbi Yehuda, when you have bones together with the meat, when it's one piece, before you deboned it, before you ate it, what are those atoms? Part of the meat. What it's muktzeh. Why? Because you want the whole thing for yourself. You want the meat for yourself. You're nice. As your wife cooks the meat before Shabbos, as Shabbos comes in, what's the status of that tzomos? It's in the cholent, it's in the chicken. You want them together with meat for yourself. You may not eat the bones, but you're going to eat the whole thing for yourself. So says Rabbi Yehuda, if you designate it for yourself, you're very nice, good looking, good tasting, but that's chicken, you're not going to give the dog, right? On Shabbos, Baruch Hashem, Shabbos evening, Shabbos day, you ate, the bones are left over, that's a new thing. But when Shabbos came in, it wasn't ready for the dog. So there would be muktzeh. So according to Rabbi Yehuda, we must say that when Shabbos came in, were already bones, the bones already, which were miyachad in your mind for the dogs. Because Rabbi Yehuda cares more about what's your kavanah. So that's statement number one. Continues the Gemara Kuf Kaf Ches Amud Beis. Boso tafuach. Boso tafuach says Rashi Masriach. It's boso which doesn't smell nice. Boso which stinks. Why is it okay to carry it, to move around? Animals like it. Some animals love dafka dogs, and sometimes these are animals bred by rich people. Some people say that this statement is only according to if you say bnei melochim, but there are animals who eat meat that for us is revolting. So therefore, it's not muktzeh either if you have them or if you can in potential have them. Mai megulin mipnei shenruin lechatul. Mai megulin. What's the issue with mai megulin? Why aren't we allowed to drink water that's been left over? Nowadays, the akpod is overnight, but originally the akpod of Chazal was mai megulin even for 1 second. You move 2 seconds maybe, you move your head, the mai megulin are behind you, unwatched, nobody was on vigil. What can happen? A snake may drink. Oh, if a snake may drink, that's a chashash. Nowadays, there's the shaila whether you chashash or not. Well, the mai megulin, which we don't eat, we don't drink, the cats, a cat may drink it. Why? Because cats are not susceptible to the eres, to the venom of the snakes. In other words, a snake, because the cat, says Rashi, it eats the snake. So it's not scared of snakes, and apparently it's not affected by snake bites or the snake maybe bites. I don't know, but the eres, even if it drinks the venom, it doesn't affect it, and therefore it's not muktzah. You own a cat, or your neighbor owns a cat, or if people around own cats, then it's okay to move my megulin around, even though for us it's not potable, but for the chatul it is. Kol atzman also lishois and ipnesakono. Rashbag says, no, get rid of it ASAP. You're not allowed to lishois, don't keep them, don't let them stay in your house because it's a sakona. Interesting. I don't know, sakona, it gives, Rashi says, Shema yishte odom mehem. Maybe people will drink from them. Don't keep that for us. My megulim is like venom, and therefore don't keep them in your house. Don't keep it in your vicinity because people may come to drink from this water by mistake. Oh, here comes a whole new Mishnah. The Mishnah, Baruch Hashem, Be'ezras Hashem. This Mishnah is not about Muktzeh, actually. I mean, actually, it is about Muktzeh. It's partially about Muktzeh, but how to carry or not to carry Muktzeh, especially Ba'al Chaim. The main topic here is how to handle animals. Animals are, generally speaking, Muktzeh. And sometimes you have to carry the animal to avoid Tzar Ba'al Chaim. The animal's running away, and you want to bring it back home. And the issue is, there could be Muktzeh, because if you're carrying the animal, it's Muktzeh. Is that allowed? Not allowed. V'chulei. Also carrying an animal, Shus Harabim, is not allowed. V'chulei. And even carrying children is also an issue. If we're talking Shus Harabim, all that will be discussed right now. Sorry. Says the Mishnah. Koifin es asal lifnei efroichim. Yeah, you came just on time. The Mishnah Kuf Kaf Ches Amud Beis. One's allowed to put down a basket in front of the efroichim, the small chicks, and they go up and down. Let's say they live in the chicken coop. It's too high for them. You want to create a ramp for them to go up and down. So then there's no problem to put the sal over there. Even though the Tarnagolim are Muktzeh, the Efroichim are Muktzeh, you are allowed to move an item for the use of Muktzeh. It's a machloikes, big machloikes we saw, Perek Shlishi. But according to what our Mishnah says, although the Tarnagolim, the Efroichim are Muktzeh, and I'm moving the basket in order to create a platform for them, like a ramp or a slide, for them to go up and down, it's okay, because why? Because I am allowed to move things around for the sake of Muktzeh. I can't move the Muktzeh, I can move other items for the Muktzeh. Now, there is another issue, of course, that's what? That is considered maybe that there's another issue of no, Bitul Kli Mechonoi. Bitul Kli Mechonoi, you're not allowed to create a situation in which you don't move a Kli. You can't freeze a Kli to its place by making it Muktzeh. Now, if the Efroichim are there all the time, going up and down, and now this became a basis for the Efroichim, so now if you made something into Muktzeh, you made it the basis of the Efroichim, and whole Shabbos you have to freeze it right there. That is called, as of itself, an Isser of Mevatel Kli Mechonoi. Why isn't this Kli Mevatel Mechonoi? Why? Because you can fly away the Efroichim. In other words, the Efroichim are going up and down, yeah, and you can shoo them away. And therefore, they're not there all the time. They can be removed. Anyway, next. Tarnagolis Shebocho. Remember, Tarnagolis is an exception to the rule. Tarnagolis which ran away from home. Doichin oiso ad shetikones. You're allowed to be doiche it until it comes in. Let me explain. There are three ways, and this is what we have to know in this year. You have to know it very, very well. What's the normal way of taking something? Take it. Hold it with two hands, with one hand, and take it. Yeah? What about an animal that is running and I want to direct it back home? There are two ways that are not so direct, not mamish schlepping it with my hands, not seizing it with my hands, and that is either medadin, either doichin. Doichin means I just move it from the back. The chicken, like not knowing where to go, and it's Tzar Ba'al Chaim, it can get lost. It's for the sake of the animal, and Tzar Ba'al Chaim is Deoraisa, according to what we say over here soon. And therefore, I'm allowed to do a partial movement of muktzeh, which is very, very gentle, very subtle, to just kind of, the animal is moving and I'm just moving it from the back, giving it direction without holding it, just pushing from the back like that. Now, what's the other way? Medadin. Medadin is much more hands-on, much more involved, and that is when I mamish take the animal, I don't hold it, picking it up, or mamish holding, I'm supporting it from the sides, and even moving the legs a little bit. Yeah? Let's say my calf, my little cow, ran away from the ranch. I'm allowed to not just move it from the back and allow the entire body to go free. I can even take it from the sides and really support it, meaning I'm doing a partial movement of its limbs. I don't take the entire thing. I'm taking the legs even. Rashi says, "Menaneh lo beraglo," can even move, help it move its feet. Oh, how come that's allowed? Let's see. So first of all, Tarnegoiles shebocho, we're more machmir, and the only thing you can do the Tarnegoiles, doichinois rachetikonis. We can't take it from the side and support it on both sides. Only move it more passively from the back. Could you please not? Sorry, and move it more. What?
Yeah, I'm not moving on it.
Ah, ah.
Damn it. Yeah,
I'm sorry.
I'm just not even making contact.
I'm sorry. No, no, it's fine now. I'm sorry. Everything's moving. No,
Yeah.
I think the screen is a Tarnagoylis and it's moving around. So now, no, I'm sorry. That's fine. Tarnagoylis abarchot. So you're allowed to move it from the back. Now, why can't you move the Tarnagoylis from the sides? We're going to see in the Gemara. However, agolin v'syochin, medadin, agolin v'syochin, meaning when it comes to agolin v'syochin, young animals, either young calf or young foal or the young horse, you're allowed to move it more close by, more of a close up, more involved touch, to move it as it goes along, not just from the back, even move it a little bit. As long as I'm not picking up the entire thing, I'm moving part of the animal. Usually that's not allowed. Here it's allowed because of Tzar Ba'alechayim. So in both cases, because of Tzar Ba'alechayim, I'm allowed to do something which I normally am not allowed to do. I'm allowed to make some kind of partial movement of muktzeh. However, but the Tarnegoiles, the involvement is less so. I cannot really touch it on all sides. I can just move it from the back. The other animals I can move and support from the sides as they go along and like direct them a bit, as long as I don't mamish take them with my hands. Now, all that will be explained in the Gemara, I promise. Now, Isha, and by the way, so far we're talking about what? Reshus HaYochid. The only thing I'm allowed to do here so far is Reshus HaYochid, not Reshus HaRabim. In Reshus HaRabim, I'm not allowed to even support the animals from the side. And I'll already tell you now why not, also as Rashi does. When the animal ran to Reshus HaRabim, we run into a much bigger problem. Why? Because let's say I move it from the side and I'm supporting it, and at some point the animal is not cooperating, I can very easily just lose it to the animal and pick it up. I've had enough of this nonsense of I'm trying to move it the right way, and Agolim and Siochim are not moving the right way. What will be if I pick it up there? So what's going to be the story? So that will be Osir. Why will it be Osir? Because if I may come to pick them up, I'll be over in an Isur D'Oraisa of what? Schlepping animals in Reshus HaRabim. I'm not allowed to schlep animals in Reshus HaRabim. Now comes the third item here, and that's human beings. Isha midad is beno. A woman may, let's say there's a young toddler who started to learn how to walk. He's 1.5 years old, 2 years old. He already knows how to walk, but he's still walking not so steadily. A woman may support her child in the side and help it walk. Omar Biuda, Emosa, you know when that is true? As long as the kid always has at least 1 foot on the floor. Yeah? Not at least, dafka. 1 foot in, one up, down when he's walking, and the mommy helps it to walk. Why is that allowed? Even in Reshus HaRabim. Ooh, in Reshus HaRabim, that's allowed. In Reshus HaYochid, it's not a chiddush, it's not a muktzeh. A woman in the street, imagine yourself, you live in a place with no eruv. Baruch Hashem, you live in wherever there's no eruv, I don't know, LA, the eruv burnt, I guess, I don't know. Yeah, and what happens next? Oh, Baruch Hashem, little Shloimele is already walking by himself, so we can go visit, people on Shabbos, but the baby is just about walking, the toddler, So in Rashus Harabim, she's allowed to walk him, to support him as he's walking. Rashus Harabim. But why aren't we concerned just like we were concerned by the animals that maybe at some point the kid is going to start kvetching and she'll pick him up? Because even if she will pick him up, what would that be? We learned in Daf Tzadidal Amud Aleph that human beings are considered as Chai Noises Atzmoi. Chai Noises Atzmoi means because the person, even a toddler, can walk by himself, even when I'm carrying it, that's not the carrying they had in the Mishkan. That's what Tosfos says. It's not called a regular carrying, and therefore a carrying. Oh, it's also with the Rabbanon. Trade the Rabbanon we don't make. We don't tell a woman don't support your 2 years old because maybe he'll just go and will refuse to whatever will be asked to be picked up. Because even if that does happen, there will only be the Rabbanon Chaynos Esatzma. Trade the Rabbanon we don't do. Mashenken with the animal. You're not allowed to support the animal in Shus Harabim. Why? Because if you will pick up the animal, it's a problem. Why is it a problem? Why is animal not considered Chai Noises Atzmoi? Animals can also walk by themselves. Says the Gemara Daf Tzadidaled, we're doing Chazorah, Mesharbeti Nafshayu, meaning an animal as opposed to a child when you pick him up, after you start kvetching and screaming, and the whole streets think you're a bad parent, right? The middle of the, and then you meet the people you feel very low na'im from, and the kids screaming and ask to be picked up. Very nice. Yeah, what? If it's a child, once you pick him up, he's usually supportive and he goes along with you. And then it's okay because you're supporting it. Mashenken, an animal, mishabet nafshayu. You pick up an animal, a cat or a goat, they usually resist. They resist against you. And therefore, it's the problem. It's not called chanos esatzmoi mamish, according to Chachomim. And therefore, by an animal, it's a problem. So don't support it, because if you will pick it up, it will be an Isur Doraisa. At Shad, you're allowed to support on Rashus Harabim, because even if you will pick him up, but the Evet will be only the Rabbanon. We don't make a Gzera the Rabbanon on top of another Rabbanon. That's by child. Let's summarize. I made a chart, which I will share with you later. Anybody who wants to get a chart from our viewers online can email me, akiva1971@gmail.com. So let's just finish the Mishnah. Also, if the child drags his feet, right? He's not walking, he's dragging his feet. So when the mother is supporting him, she's really carrying him. He's not really walking and she's helping. It's like, she's dragging him along, right? Yeah. So then it's also maybe also the Rabbanon Tizchanos Esatzmoi, but still also. So let's summarize. Tarnegoilis is the bad girl. Tarnegoilis, the only thing you can do with Tarnegoilis, clearly not Rashus Harabim, only Rashus HaYochid, and only what? Doichin. Tarnegoilis has a bad quality, worse than other animals, which we're going to see soon in the Gemara. Other animals, you can be medade, you can even help them, support them, and help them walk more actively, but not mamish take them like Muktzeh, like schlepping, picking up. You can help them from the side. In Rashus HaYochid for sure, but not in Rashus Harabim. Because in Rashus Harabim, if they end up driving you crazy and you'll pick them up, it will be an Isur Doraisa. A child is better both Rashus Harabim and Rashus HaYochid. Even Rashus Harabim, you can do medade. Why? Because the child, even if he misbehaves and you end up picking him up, but the Eved, it will be only the Rabbanon. Let's see the Gemara. Omar Viuda, Omar Rav. Behema shenoflu la'amas hamayim, an animal that fell into the ditch full of water. Mainly korim uksosos, the animal stuck in there. It's sal balachaim, could be hefsad moment also. I don't know if that justifies it. We spoke about it before. An animal fell into the ditch, boom, with water, a canal. Could be a deep one. Maybe korim uksosos umaniach tachtea. You can bring all kinds of pillows, mattresses, put it under the behema. Also, if the behema, supported by begins to climb up those pillows and blankets and mattresses, it goes up, then great, very good. I'm not touching the animal, it's Muktzeh. I'm creating a basis for the animal to slowly, elevate itself and climb up. Mesivi comes the brisa that's questioning this. Behema shenoflu la'amas hamayim. Oisel parnoso bimkoimo bishvil shelo yitamus. This brisa says if exactly the same case, it fell into the ditch, and what can you do? Throw it some parnose dollars, euros, shekels. Throw it parnasa. Which parnasa? Food. Throw food to the animal down there into the pit, so the animal shouldn't die. I mashma parnasa in. Kol muksasa sloi. Oh, you see that the only thing you can do is parnasa to throw it food, which is not muktzah, which is fine. But parnasa, kol muksasas, no. I cannot move the kol muksasas. Why is kol muksasas an issue? Nichoira, as we're going to see, because there's an issue mevatel kli mechonoi. If the animal starts lying on it and is not going to go up, she'll just decide, "Well, that's a cool, nice couch. That's a nice sofa. I never slept like that before in my life. It's oinik Shabbos." If the animal just decides to stay there, you mevatel kli mechonoi. Yeah, you're creating a basis which you're not supposed to. Yeah, mevatel kli mechonoi, by the way, is a very negel halacha. You should know on Shabbos, right? What do we do, Israeli people and the Americans also mushpa? Yeah, you eat pitzuchim right after the Friday night meal. What do you do with the shells, with the klippas of the garinim? You put them in the plate. It's not so simple. The plate now becomes muktzeh, becomes basis davar also. You have to put a disposable something in there first. You have to put like a disposable spoon. Then it will be basis davar mutar also. Yeah. Weiter. Answers the Gemara lo kasha. There's no steer between the brises. Oh, the efshor bepanosa. Oh, the efshor bepanosa. Depends if parnasa is possible or not. Yeah, for whichever reason. Efshor bepanosa. Solution number one. Plan A is to throw some food down there in. That's great. That's best. We prefer not to use the kor mixosos solution. Ve'eloi. Let's say for whichever reason, I don't know why, you can't throw food into the animal down there. Rashi says one example, the water is too deep. There is water there, yeah? And the water is too deep, and just, the food is, you won't be able to schlep food down there. So what do? Maybe, then you're allowed to put the kormuk sosos and put it under the animal. Oh, very nice. It's plan B. You're still doing it. Plan B, plan me. At the end of the day, you are taking something which is nice pillows, column sofas, mattresses, fine linen, and you're creating what? You're making them into mevatel kli me'echonoi. Mevatel kli me'echonoi means you cancel, you annul the kli from its readiness. By the way, it's very interesting. What's the problem with mevatel kli me'echonoi? Why? Why can't I make something into muktzah on Shabbos? So Rashi, there's a bit of a contradiction in Rashi. In one place, Rashi says, because it's as if you're building it, as if you cement it to the ground. If you can't move it, kill you cement it to the ground. That's like boine. Because Muktzeh can't move. Here, Rashi is the other way around. It's kill your soiser. Yeah? It's as if you are demolishing it, but making it dysfunctional. You destroyed it. Whatever the reason may be, there's an Isra of Atil Kli Mechonoi. Answers the Gemara. How come you can do it? Oh, very nice. How can you do it? How do we allow Mevatel Kli Mechonoi for that animal? Answers the Gemara, big Yesoid, Soval. This Mandoma holds as follows. Mevatel Kli Mechonoi derabonon. The Isra Bitul Kli Mechonoi is derabonon. You're not really building. You're not really destroying. It's an Isra derabonon. It's a derivative of Muktzeh. Tzabal Lechaim deoraisa. This mad it's machloikes in Bab Metzia Dafla Med Beis. Here we paskin Tzabal Lechaim is deoraisa. That's deoraisa v'dachi derabonon. Wow. So what do we see over here? When you have Tzabal Lechaim, which is deoraisa, for Tzabal Lechaim we allow to break a derabonon. That's not always true, but here it's true. Tzabal Lechaim deoraisa, we basically push away an Isra derabonon from an Isra deoraisa, which is Tzabal Lechaim. How do you know Tzabal Lechaim? There are many sources of Tzabal Lechaim. The famous source, which the Gemara says brings down in Elu Metzias, is because of Azoiv Ta'azov Imoi. See the animal, all crouched under the heavy burden to help the poor animal by lifting the burden from the animal, because the animal is suffering. Weiter. And by the way, as I already started telling you, we'll see it more now, the idea of pushing the animal and being over partial muktzeh is also because of Tzabal Lechaim. Not mamsh moving it, but supporting that business of supporting on the side or pushing from the back is also allowed only because of Tzabal Lechaim, not Stam. By the way, if you wonder why there's no Isur of Tzeda, Also, the Tfelsas all says the Gemara doesn't talk about it, which is surprising. This Tanagolis ran away. Are you allowed to bring back an animal that ran away home? Last he comes home. Yeah, but is that allowed on Shabbos? Is he allowed to go back on Shabbos? So Lemaisa, it's only the Rabbanon. Assuming the animal is already domesticated, it had a bad day. It had a bad day. Yeah, she's a teenage Tarnagoylis. Yeah, she decided, but she'll come back soon. So what happens then? It's an Isod Rabbanon. Why? Because the Seder of an animal which is already domesticated just got into a bad mood is the Rabbanon. You're not hunting a deer in the forest, right? It's an animal which is used to you. You only want to bring it back. The Rabbanon. Because of Tzar Balechaim, we're allowed to say the Rabbanon. The Gemara doesn't discuss it, but that's what the Tiferet Law says. Yeah. And I like the Tiferet Law. Yeah. We have connections. Okay. No, he was the Rebbe of my grandmother's grandfather. Tanagolis Shabocho. Yeah. Weiter. Tanagolis Shabocho. הרב הגויין, מה אתה אומר? מה אתה מחדש לנו? מה הקשר? No, because she ran away. In the street, there are all kinds of gangsters and drug dealers who are waiting for her. It's Tzar Balechaim for her to stay outside. מה הקשר? Yeah, of course. Yeah, that's shot. She's outside. I don't know what's going to happen to her outside. It's a home animal. It doesn't know how to deal with a tough world out there. Yeah. She's going to meet the mafioso. Tanagolis Shabocho. Weiter. Zog the Gemara, doichin in medadin loy. What were medayak regarding the Tarnagolis? You all know now. The only thing you can do with the Tarnagolis is push it only from behind, not on the sides to more actively support it. That you can't do. You can just guide it from the back, hoping it will go the right direction. You're not even holding it even sideways. Why is that? Now we're going to see soon. Now we're going to see. Tanina lodoton obonon. This goes very well with the following brisa. Medadin behema chaya ve'oif bechotzer. Behema chaya ve'oif. Domesticated animals, the chaya, not so domesticated, oif bechotzer. Inside the chotzer, you can medade. You can support them on the sides. Avaloi satanagoyles. She's a black sheep. She's a black tanagoyles. The chicken, the rooster, you can't move her like on the sides, just from the back. Tarnagolis my time alone. No, tell us the reason already. Why? Why is Tarnagolis? Yeah. Why can't she be moved properly only from the back? Mishum the mekapia nafsha. Mekapia nafsha literally means it makes itself float. Meaning, a Tarnagolis, as opposed to other birds, let alone other animals, has an interesting tchuna, interesting quality. If you hold it from the side, it automatically starts picking itself up. It likes to fly. The Tarnagolim can fly low. Yeah, they can jump and fly low. So then what's going to happen? Inadvertently, if I held it from the back and it's going to fly, I'm not holding it anymore. But if I'm holding it and it's automatically picking up, I'm picking it up myself. Then I'm mamish taking it by a dime. The only heads are to support on the side because I'm not mamish picking. I'm only holding partially. But once the animal is picking itself up and I automatically, my hands will move along, what comes out? That I picked it up mamish. To pick up mamish muktzeh is asur, even though there could be tzar b'alchaim. And that's a chiddush. Yeah? That's a chiddush. You can't mamish pick up muktzeh. Yeah? That we see over here. Why did we allow other drabanons? That's a good question. I want to remind you of Tosfos Daf Chafei. I don't know the reason really, but I know a rule. A rule is Tosfos says in Daf Chafei at the end of Tosfos, Ein ledames gzeres d'Rabbanon zu lezu. The gzera of tzeda is one thing, tzeda d'Rabbanon, and muktzeh is the other one. Each one legufay. Each case, right? Each d'Rabbanon is dealt with differently. Don't color all the Rabbanons in one paintbrush. That's the idea. Now, Tani Chada, another brisa says, Medadin behema v'chaya be'oif v'chotzer, to be medade and support from the sides, behema, the other animal type, and not chicken, oif, the regular birds, v'chotzer, in the chotzer you may, avaloi b'rshus harabim. Why not b'rshus harabim? I told you, because b'rshus harabim, what's going to happen if at some point, now, the animals, they don't jump on their own. But you, at some point, may lose your patience with a silly animal, and you'll pick it up already. And if you pick it up in the street, oy vavoy, that's an issur d'oraisa to carry an animal in the street, because it's not kol chaynos esatzmoi. A woman, a mother, and a baby, not a baby, a toddler is okay b'rshus harabim, or the most on the chotzer. Why? If the woman carries, not carries is picking up. The woman is like supporting her son. When he makes his baby steps in the street, it's fine because even if she'll lose patience at some point, they'll pick him up. What's going to be? It won't be doraisa. It will be dorabanon because of what would it be? Chaynos esatzmoi. Chaynos esatzmoi. He can carry himself. He's a self-carrying human being. Therefore, it's not a problem. Yeah, you don't make a gzera atu dorabanon, trade dorabanon. Yeah, you don't say don't do this lest you come to the rabbanon. And b'chotzer, of course, it's fine. Chotzer, there's no carrying problem. It's not reshus harabim, and it's not muktzeh. It's a Yiddish kind. Yeah. Betanya idach. But look at the other brisa. Betanya idach. Look at the brisa that says, "Ein oikrin b'ema b'chayv b'chotzer." Oikrin means what? Mamish picking up. Boom. To pick up, not from the side, not from the shmaid. Mamish taking it. You're not allowed to do that to any type of b'ema b'chayv b'chotzer. Yeah. Not even indoors because it's muktzeh. It's muktzeh. You can't pick up a muktzeh animal. Aval doichin benchi konsu. What are you allowed to do? The most minimal action of just pushing from behind. Frag the Gemara, don't ask me for one brisa to the other. Hogufa kasha. That brisa itself is difficult. Why? The brisa, it's a typical brisa of stira b'diyukim. The reisha amarta ein oikrin. Well, again, before we continue the question, I want you to understand the question before the Gemara. There are three types of how you can move an animal. Oikrin, just pick it up like that. No side, You just pick it up as is, aggressively and strongly. The middle case is what? You carry it, helping it from the sides. It's a partial tool. And the slightest one, the most minimal one, is just helping directing from the back. You're not really carrying at all. You're only moving, pushing from the back. And the brisa seems to contradict itself. Because it says, what aren't you allowed to do? You can't carry by picking up legamre, mamish taking full force. What are you allowed to do? The slightest form. That's a stira. What happens? The middle case, the middle of the three, fell between the cracks. Yeah? Are you or aren't you allowed to do the middle thing? Yeah? The medadin. That's a stira. And let the Gemara ask the question. Hagufa kasha. That brisa is of itself is difficult, regardless to the other brises. Amarta, at the beginning you told me, and oikrin, you're not allowed to mamish pick up completely with both hands. Aval diduye medadinan. Mashma, to do the partial moving of supporting from the sides and moving the legs, moving part of the animal is okay. V'hodar amarta, and later on in the brisa you say, doichin in, medadin loy. The brisa was much more machmir. The only thing you do is just move from the back, but you can't move from the side. Make up your mind. Amar Abaye, no problem. Mr. Chicken is back, or Mrs., yeah? The Tarnegoilis is back. All is good. Safe house on the Tarnegoilis. Very simple. The Reisha speaks about 99.9 of creatures who live on earth. And all of them, you are allowed to do what? You're allowed to not pick up, but your duke was correct. You're allowed to do medadin. You can support them from the side and help the movement a little bit, not mamish completely, but partially. The sefer that says all you can do is doichit, that's Tarnegolis. Tarnegolis is the bad girl. All you can do to Tarnegolis is move it from the back without even moving, without even holding from the side. Let's remember again, why can't you support the Tarnegolis from the side? Because it's going to all of a sudden pick itself up, and you automatically find yourself picking it up. If you pick up an animal, can't do that. Weiter. Omar Abaye. Says Abaye, the person, by the way, when I said you don't allow muktzeh for tzar ba'al chaim, it's not so simple. Some tzar ba'al chaim you allow, possibly, maybe even muktzeh. Here the tzar ba'al chaim is not so direct. It's going out, maybe the other ways of dealing with it. Omar Abaye. Based on what we just said about it, Tarnegoilis, Abaye is teaching us something in Hilchas Shchita. Wow. In Hilchas Shchita, in the middle of Masechus Shabbos, we learn Shchita. Let's see. A person who wants to shecht a tarnagolis, a chicken, lich beshinu lekari be'ara. You should deal with the feet of the tarnagolis. Either press them in the ground, that the animal's feet should be pressed mamish strongly against the ground and it can't move its feet, or alternatively, inami nedalu medal, or maybe pick up the feet that the feet don't touch the ground. But the worst thing is that the feet just touch the ground. The feet of the chicken may not touch the ground at ground level as you shecht it. Why? The dilma monachlo tufre be'ara ve'okolo simonim. That chicken knows how to be nasty and naughty. And what does it do? Manach the tufre, the tziponaim, the nails, the claws, it's going to put in the ground, it's going to stick them in the ground, it's going to therefore create such a movement, the okal simonim. As you shecht the animal, the simonim, there will be an akira to the shchita. Yeah, the simonim will not be properly shechted. They'll be like, removed like that, like, yeah, moved back. And therefore, because of the movement which will cause a problem for the shchita of the knife, as the knife moves into the simonim in the neck, it will be a kira instead of shchita, because of the animal's tendency to move the feet. Therefore, make sure it can't stick its feet in the ground. Either it's pressed against the ground with no ability to move, or the feet are above ground that the chicken has no way of reaching the ground anyways. One of these you should make sure you do. Weiter. Zog the Mishnah, earn the audience of Be'em V'Yotov. Yeah, we have 2 more minutes. Yeah, let's just start the new Mishnah so we feel good. Before we start the Mishnah, tomorrow is Tuesday. Tomorrow, Mitzvah Hashem, there's Shir. Wednesday, I'm afraid no Shir. Really, really sorry. Shir on Thursday, Shir Muktzeh Shabbos. Wednesday, I just have something. Okay, sorry. Wednesday is some kind of family commitment. So tomorrow, yes, except for Wednesday. Yeah, just Wednesday, no. Okay, let's just start the Mishnah. You're not allowed to meyaled the beim on Yom Tov, which means you're not allowed to deliver a baby animal on Yom Tov. Yom Tov is not excluding Shabbos. It's a kol sheken of Shabbos, which means Yom Tov is always more kal than Shabbos. The animal is about to give birth. The animal has the unborn baby inside. You're not allowed to schlep and really pull out, deliver the baby animal from the mother on Yom Tov. Why not? It's a tircha yisera. The animal can give birth by itself. Yeah, it's easier for the animal with you, but it's considered as extra tircha. That's what all the Meforshim say, and that's the problem of Miyalidus Abema B'Yom Tov. Aval Misa'adin, you're allowed to help the animal after the birth, according to Rabbi Yehuda later, that you're allowed to do. I'll continue tomorrow, Meretz Hashem, this Mishnah and Gemara. I'm just surprised. Is the only problem of Mayaldi in Tircha? Why isn't there a problem of Oiker? You mamish disconnecting it. Tosis says in Avodah Zarah, yeah, I think in Daf Chavtes, around there, that it's considered as cutting. You're cutting it from its place of growth. So I think here we're talking about a case in which the animal already started giving birth. The baby inside is already disconnected from its original place. Yeah, it's already beginning to move out, and you, by pulling it out, you're not really moving it from its original place. The disconnection already happened, the detachment. All you're doing is like helping extra. That extra help is an unnecessary tircha. You want to be nice to your animal or give it extra help? Not on Shabbos v'Yom Tov. It's too much of a tircha. You're not supposed to be torech for animals on Shabbos. Only do the bare necessities for them. Hatzlacha v'racha. May our friend's granddaughter be well and healthy. May we all be well and healthy. Tzvi Rose and his granddaughter was, maybe still is, I hope not, in hospital with pneumonia. Thank you. Hatzlacha v'racha, once again, and may we be zoiche to all good things. And see you tomorrow here. Hatzlacha.